The interim or the short to medium term is work during this year to prove out the discovery in Namibia to generate an MRE from that as quickly as possible. And then in Botswana, it is to make discoveries in all three of the areas that we're looking to operate in.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Serval Resources CEO Robin Birchall. Robin, very good to speak with you. This looks like a transformational moment for the company, rebranding as Serval, moving to AIM and acquiring Kalahari Copper. For investors new to the story, how would you describe what Serval's becoming?
Well, first of all, Stephen, thank you and good morning. Thank you very much for having me on this morning. And we're very, very pleased, obviously, about the quotation on AIM and the move up from the Aquis Stock Exchange. But yeah, the company, the transformation in the company is very significant with this move to AIM, and we've been able to assemble an absolutely excellent package of exploration assets across three of the best jurisdictions in Africa. So yeah, I mean we're very very excited about the next 6, 12, 18 months here.
Well, as you mentioned, you've stepped up from Aquis to AIM alongside the £2.9 million fundraising. What's the strategic rationale for the move, and how does AIM help you to access capital, visibility, and also a broader investor base as you scale?
Well, look, AIM has always been an excellent market. I know it's been not as popular in the last couple of years, but with the resurgence in investment and interest from the investment community, particularly the generalists around the world, AIM is absolutely the right place for companies like Serval. It gives us a much broader outreach. It has much better connectivity in the digital systems for trading. It's part of the London Stock Exchange, which is still one of the best, or one of the top three markets in the world, accessing capital that is not only London-based but also Europe and international. So that's the reason for going to the market, is that access to capital across the globe, focused on the London market.
Talk us through the assets you're assembling in Botswana, Namibia, and Côte d'Ivoire, Robin. What's attracted you to these projects, and where do you see the biggest exploration upside?
Well, look, they're the best jurisdictions in Africa by far. I'm sure you would be aware, but Botswana and Namibia are just wonderful jurisdictions to both travel in, work in, even take holidays there. That's how safe they are relative to the rest of Africa, how well organized they are, how good the infrastructure is. It's easy to get around there. The roads are in fantastic condition in all three of the countries. The power networks are good in all three countries. Um, and the rule of law is very, very strong in all three countries.
Robin, there's no shortage of copper stories in the market. What do you see as the key investment case for Serval, and what differentiates this portfolio from peers at a similar stage?
Well, look, it's because in Botswana the system, or the Kalahari Copperbelt, is very well known. It's been put into production as of about 5 years ago. It's producing a significant amount of copper. It was only discovered in the sort of 2000s properly, but it's an absolutely marquee jurisdiction. In Namibia, it's not as well discovered, but it's a part of the Central African Copperbelt, which is one of the most prolific copperbelts in the world, and it's very, very, very interesting to a large number of companies, all the way up to large integrateds who've been talking to us about the work that we're going to do there. So that's really why the two jurisdictions, from a geological perspective, are so interesting. And then finally in Ivory Coast, which has had a bit of a renaissance of mining activity over the last say 5 to 10 years, with the changes that took place there with the simplification of the mining code. And that means that that jurisdiction, there's the potential for elephant-sized discoveries there. So we love all three of the jurisdictions. We work easily in all of them.
You've described this as the foundation for a mid-cap copper and future metals group, Robin. What does success look like in practical terms, and how do you get from explorer to developer?
Well, I mean, look, our target is to get to $1 billion market capitalization. We have the team. The most important things are the team and the assets, right? So we have the team and we have the assets to be able to grow to a very significant size. We will obviously have to perform on that. Like any team, if you don't perform, your fans or your cheerleaders may be less than happy with you. So, we will work very hard. The interim or the short to medium term is work during this year to prove out the discovery in Namibia, to generate an MRE from that as quickly as possible. And then in Botswana, it is to make discoveries in all three of the areas that we're looking to operate in. And then finally, in Ivory Coast, it would be to try to make a discovery at the deposit.
Well, I hope you'll keep us updated on your progress with all that, Robin. Thank you very much, and congratulations on the AIM listing.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stephen.
That's Serval Resources CEO Robin Birchall.